If you watch enough of our national broadcaster, you will learn that Australia is racist. You'll learn that Australian values are racist, and for some people, even the Australian flag is racist. Indeed, Australian anti-fascists are known for their flag burning. Australians are often encouraged to feel guilty about their national pride. Middle-class people living in the inner cities are often embarrassed about our Western heritage. Today, any Australian who does not express shame about our history of colonisation is basically guilty of a hate crime. But nationalism is not racist. Nationalism is the antidote to racism. Let me explain why. People are inherently tribal. There is no way of getting around this. Tribalism is part of human nature. We are so tribal that we derive pleasure from fighting on behalf of our clan or tribe. Starting from the 1960s, there have been literally hundreds, if not thousands, of studies demonstrating how easy it is to trigger people's innate tribal psychology. We know that if you split people into groups and emphasize group differences, people will start competing against each other. Most of the time, humans group together according to race. However, this is not always the case. A 2001 study found that people are able to forget about race when they are in a group that shares a larger identity. This often happens in sporting teams, and it also happens in the military. Australia has a long tradition of Indigenous soldiers fighting alongside white soldiers, for example. People taking pride in their country and looking past racial, class and gender differences is the beauty of nationalism. When people sign on to patriotism, there is no limit to the cooperation that can be unleashed. And the point is this: the innate psychology of tribalism doesn't just go away when nationalism is discouraged. People will remain tribal, they will just find a different way to express it. The most obvious one being through race. Now you might say, well, what about diversity training? Aren't there programs now which train us out of our unconscious racial bias? Can't we be anti-nationalistic and anti-racist at the same time? It's doubtful. A 2009 study found that diversity training hasn't ever really been tested properly. It hasn't been tested through an experiment. That means that despite the hundreds of millions of dollars that have been spent on it, we actually don't know if it works properly. The reviews that have been done aren't encouraging either. A 2009 review found that it didn't work, and a 2014 review found that it actually backfires. So what does work? What does bring people together and encourages people to cooperate? Nationalism does. It's worked for a long time, and you often see it in the military. Why? Because soldiers are there to be in service of their country. Now, people who discourage nationalism are often just very naive when it comes to human nature. The idea that if you just get rid of nationalism, everybody around the world will be friends and hold hands is delusional. What will happen if we get rid of nationalism is that we will see the rise of ethnic tribalism. That is the opposite to nationalism. Nationalism is not racist. Nationalism is the antidote to racism. I'm Claire Lehmann for the Rebel.media. If you would like to see more commentary, make sure you like and subscribe.